Hi, BG Wrestling here. Do you like winning?
Winner.
Do you enjoy not being a loser? Then stop eating sad, crumbly desserts and start feeling like a champ with Brand's brownies. These aren't your grandpa's brownies. These are brownies for superior athletes, packed with real meat protein, electrolytes, and lean omega-3s. Other products are full of fatty acids and wasted talent. The secret is Brand's brownies are designed to push your body to 100% efficiency. No waste, all taste.
I ate one Brand's brownie and my body was like, we're good. I didn't poop for a week.
That's science. 100% efficiency at 100% great taste. And now the question everyone is asking, do you have nuts?
I have nuts.
Good, because Brand's brownies now have big nuts. Other products crumble under pressure. Brand's brownies built like bricks. Stop wasting the best years of your life from the bench. Fuel up. Toughen up! Brownie up!
Brand's brownies! Built like bricks!
All right, folks. Welcome back. This is BG Wrestling. We are here. Happy New Year to all the fans, everyone out there. We're going to be talking resolutions, predictions. Cornell Kevin in the house. Folks, we're live. Join the chat. Join the comments. People are already firing up in the comments. We appreciate it. Call-in link is in the description. Cornell Kevin is here with us. Listen, he's going to recap Midlands. He's going to give us the Southern Scuffle predictions and preview, what we have to look forward to. He's going to tell us the real story about Anthony Knox, what's really going down here. He's got some big international news. Jax Forrest. A lot of things. Actually, not a lot of wrestling, but we got a lot, dude. And first and foremost, you saw the commercial, Brand's brownies. Don't eat those kale cookies. Ew, ew. Get yourself some Brand's brownies for sale now. Real protein, lean omega-3s, folks. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
It's the only place you can find them. Cornell Kevin, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show.
Good, buddy. How are you? Happy New Year.
Good, man. Happy New Year. We're going to be talking resolutions. While we're at it, Kevin, what is your New Year's resolution?
I think what I'm going to try and do is stay off the phone when around the kid, you know? It's hard, you know, especially doing what we do for content. I just don't want him to grow up seeing the back of a phone, though, you know? I work at it, but I just want to get a little bit better at it. So I just put that time aside so he's not ever looking at the back of my phone. That's what I'm going to work on.
That's good.
How about you?
That's probably a resolution a lot of people probably could and should have. Mine, well, first I need to sell my house in Frederick. That's a number one. But then I'm going to try to quit cigars. I've been saying it. You know, I enjoy a cigar. It's my, what do you call it? I don't know. But yeah, I should quit those, mainly because little Joe's getting older and that little boy's a problem. I don't need him to be seeing me doing that. But folks, let's hear your resolutions in the comments. We'll hear resolutions also. Some comments about the Brand's brownies. But listen, before I throw it to Kevin, man, he's going to hit you with everything you need to know. I'm going to hit you with one thing you might not have seen. You maybe did see it, okay? And this is relevant to wrestling. A big-time YouTuber, okay, big-time YouTuber, Jesse James West, went to Penn State here just a couple days ago. It posted, visited Penn State. They call it the strongest university in the nation. He's walking through here, viewing all the facilities, seeing how incredible. I did not realize how incredible the Penn State facilities are until I watched this. And he just happened to run into Ono as he's walking through. Ono offered to take him down. And but anyway, dude, had no idea. And, you know, a lot of things starting to make sense with Penn State. They got Kale. They got all these facilities. And go watch it at Jesse James West, the strongest university. He goes through Penn State. He goes to the wrestling. the hockey, the baseball, everything, dude. And every facility at Penn State is incredible. It's very impressive. Not only that, it's the meals. They're eating free stuff. The free stuff they go up and grab is unbelievable, dude. It's unbelievable. But yeah, go check it out. Give you some perspective and maybe some reasoning as to why a lot of these kids are going to Penn State. Maybe even more so than Kale. But hey, Kevin, what do we got, man? Not a lot of wrestling in the past week, but
yeah,
Midlands
Midlands took place, right?
Yep.
And we got
us up to
Scuffle
speed?
coming up, but yeah, first Midlands. There's a few interesting things that went on. At 133, we had the 27-year-old Ortega who's suing the NCAA from Cuba, trying to wrestle for Iowa State. He made it to the finals, but got pinned by a red-hot Aaron Seidel, who this was his season opener, and he had 3 techs and 2 pins, just smoking everybody. Outscored his opponents 55-7, and it was a decent bracket for him to do that in, and he blew through everybody, and it just kind of shows. I posted on Twitter kind of the depth that Virginia Tech is really starting to show. That and the guys they had at 149 in this tournament. They had 3 guys in the quarters. They're just really, all those recruiting classes that we've seen the past couple of years and that we're seeing coming up are really coming together. 133, I mean, they got Dylan Campbell, the number 9th ranked wrestler in the country, a redshirt freshman that's in front of, not in front, but he's wrestling right now instead of Seidel. So you're wondering, all right, are they going to keep, Aaron Seidel on the sidelines till next year? Or are they going to have him go right now because, man, does he ever look ready to go? But that's just even more beef to that 133-pound weight class.
Okay, I put the Seidel stat up on the screen if you want to kind of talk through that.
And it's funny, man, because I posted this, right? And, comments, oh, this is cool. And then there's always every fan base has their people, Zach. You know what I'm saying? And there had to be one guy that said, Penn State would beat them 33-6 in a duel. That was his comment to this post. And I go, what? Okay.
Okay, let me say this, dude, to the Twitter trolls out there. I don't know. It's probably the same in every sport, but wrestling, there's a lot of like Twitter and forum trolls out there. One that personally hit me offensive. Okay, I shared the Brand's Brownie commercial. I'm pretty sure, not pretty sure, I'm 100% sure that was 100% originally my idea. Someone on a Facebook group or something said that stolen idea. No, dude. No, sir. No, sir. If anyone else had that idea before I came up with Brand's Bounty, I did. No, prove it, because I came up with it during a live show that we were doing, Kevin. As I was making fun of the kale cookie, Brand Brownie hit me in the head. I said, if anyone can prove before that, but yeah, these forum and a lot
prove it, man.
You get a lot of negative.
Zach, I've just been going at it at Twitter this week, man. And you know what? I respond to everybody, and I don't cop an attitude. I just say it how it is, try and kill him with kindness. But one dude wanted me to message the rules. I did. And he was totally cool about it. He was like, he said he'd Venmo me $10. I was like, no, man, it's cool. He goes, if you can prove this, I'll do it. And I'm like, no, man, it's cool. Give me a beer sometime. But it's part of the game, But anyway, my response to him was, we all know who the hot dogs are. We all know the teams that it's just like I don't see Cornell winning a team title anytime soon, but I'm still going to continue to post things about other schools other than Oklahoma State and Penn State and Iowa,
Have to.
But
grow the sport. And also, that's why we do a live show, so you can call in. That's why I'm shocked we don't get more call-ins, folks, because...
And talk about your team, man.
Yeah. I mean, anyway, go ahead.
Zach, 133, something else weird happened. Gabe Weisenhunt had a really good win over Isaiah Cortez, a gray shirt from Cornell, who lost to Davino in sudden victory this year. That's how good this kid is. And he's really a 125-pounder wrestling 133 right now. And he lost to Davino at Clarion in sudden victory. Gabe Weisenhunt, it was a really weird match. The final score was 10-9. He wins the match. He moves on to the semis, right, to wrestle Ortega. He doesn't show up. He injury defaults out. I'm sorry. So I'm like, okay. So I go to the consolation matches. He wrestles the consolation match, though, which he lost to Spittle. And I'm thinking, what in the world? Now, posting it on Twitter, Not a Wrestler brought up a good point of he, probably thought he was going to get, beaten pretty bad. And the loss or the win doesn't count on his record because it was an unattached wrestler. My thing is, man, that just looks bad, sets a really bad precedent of, you're not wrestling a guy. Like, you go there to win the tournament. Am I not right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it just looks bad. He forfeits and then he goes and he wrestles back. It's like, you're there to win the tournament, man. What are we doing here? I can tell you one thing. If Isaiah Cortez would have won that match, he would have wrestled Ortega. Absolutely. So it's just interesting, though, Zach, because these holiday tournaments, they do have, like Midlands and stuff, they do have a lot of unattached wrestlers, backups, even Soldier Salute. We're going to see a lot of backups, which we'll talk about. And you know what, if it's a teammate or if it's a high school wrestler or non-division one wrestler, it doesn't count on your record. So some of these guys don't want anything to do with it if it's not, if it's not benefiting them. And it's weird because they can go ahead and take that injury to fault and it doesn't count as a loss. They could literally go to the tournament still and get third and end up not having a loss on the record for the weekend. It's like another loophole,
Yeah, something wrong with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't really care for that at all. Isaiah's brother, Elijah Cortez, won the 141-pound bracket. He's 24-1 on this gray shirt year, so he's looking real good. Another thing that I want to touch on, and it is Cornell related, but 197 pounds, Jude Carrera, who is an animal at 197. He's 21-3 this year. He's got 17 first period pins. He was in the semi, and I thought he had a chance at winning because he pinned Shoemate, who ended up winning the tournament. He pinned him at Clarion, and he's wrestling, and he ends up hurting his knee. This was after his loss. This was in the consolations. He's wrestling a Stanford wrestler. They get into a scramble, and the Stanford wrestler grabs his toes, right?
Okay.
And they're going around and round, and I don't know if you got
We have the video. We have the video here, Kevin.
Yeah.
I'm going to put the video on, folks. And just give me a second. And then, Kevin, I do believe I can have you talk us through this.
Yeah. So you can see Carrera there standing up, the guy in on the leg. And the Stanford wrestler has got his ankle, nothing, unusual here, but you see his knees bending pretty bad, and the people, 197-pounder, knees not going that way. So then you can see he's grabbing his toes at this point, though, right? And it's totally restricting his mobility to move. The officials just continue to let this go on. Now, a lot of people on Twitter were like, well, he should have just gave up on it if it hurt. Come on. The bottom line is you can't grab the toes like that when it's stopping someone's mobility like that. The shot was already in process. Okay. If anything, the ref should have called potentially dangerous 3 or 4 different times. He just kept letting him go, letting him go. And this went on for over a minute, Zach. And finally, Carrera's, you'll see coming up, is in a spot where he's damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. No matter what, he's going to get it. His leg hurt, as you'll see coming up here. Right now, all of a sudden, he's going to look up at the official because he knows that even if he gives up, his knee's not right here. He looks up, he's like, oh boy. And his knee just, we don't know what's wrong. Yeah. And he was in a lot of pain. He was shouting, and you'd hate to see it, man. This kid's a young kid. He's a freshman, a gray shirt, having an awesome season. And now the officials, I don't know what they're doing, man. I hate to see this worse than anything. When officials are not preventing this stuff from happening when they should, I just hate it. I hate to see it. I don't know the injury that he has, but it didn't look good. And if anything, you can probably imagine he's not going to be wrestling for the rest of this season.
Very unfortunate. And I'll also say, I mean, I watched it, and it did seem like multiple points throughout that scramble I would have stopped it, or I thought it would have been stopped. and it was not.
Absolutely, man. Both sides were saying stalemate, stop it, watch his knee. It wasn't just one side. And yeah, so that was a real bummer, man. I hope that he's okay. We'll hope that he's okay. We'll fill you in when we find out more about that. But that was Jude Carrera. Overall, I thought this tournament was very weak compared to what we've had in the past. The highest ranked guy was Dylan Schauber, who was 14th ranked, who Seidel teched 17-0, which was crazy. But man, it's just, I'm hoping that the Scuffle is going to be better. I think it's going to be better. But man, if this is the way the Midlands is going down, it just is going to continuously get worse. It's just not a good look.
Unfortunate. I agree, folks. WrestleMadness is here live. They fell asleep after eating a Brands brownie. They said that's, there's not anything funky in those Brands brownies. They're built like bricks. You won't poop for a week. And on that note, congratulations. WrestleMadness, folks, is now officially affiliated, hooked up with Flow Wrestling.
Flowness. Yep.
You know what happened? This is what happened, dude. WrestleMadness. Then we just fireworked them under BEG. We put a firework under their butts and lit it. And now, daggone, dude, they're teamed up with Flow. Congratulations. Good for them. And that's great. That's great for wrestling, folks. WrestleMadness.
Love to see it.
Is getting bigger. Get engaged. Go to WrestleMadness.com and you can participate. It is the fantasy football of wrestling. That's essentially what it is. If you like fantasy football, if you play fantasy football, you will enjoy doing this. It's essentially that for wrestling, but that's cool. What a great little success story here on New Year's Day. I wonder what their New Year's resolution is. We haven't heard any New Year's resolutions in the comments. I haven't read any, but folks, we're open to them. Anyway, Kevin, go ahead. Keep going, man. I'm sorry. What do we got next, man?
No worries. Well, I want to touch base real quick on some international news. Couple things. He was called the Iranian monster, but now I guess he'll be called the Azerbaijan monster. Masoumi, he quite possibly the second best heavyweight in the world. The problem is he's been behind Zari. Zari's a 24-year-old. Masami's a 21-year-old. Now, Masoumi has won a cadet world title, 3 junior world titles, and 2 U23 titles. 6 world titles this guy's won. He's undefeated against Americans. He's teched Mason Paris. He's beaten Zilmer, Chris Carroll. He's beaten Carroll and Ben Keeter. This guy's an animal, but he cannot. I think his record is 80-6 if with all the age groups combined. 3 of those losses to Zari, real close ones, and it's been a shame for them, because he knew that he had to get out of there. Because it's not like Zari's 30 years old. Zari's 24. So he was thinking about going to Albania, but it turns out he's going to Azerbaijan. Now he has to sit out till 2027. But he will be able to wrestle in the Olympics, in the Los Angeles Olympics. So that will be interesting to see those two going head to head.
In Los Angeles. Wow. Okay. Yep. That is interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So that puts a whole, that puts the second best heavyweight that's not been really out there on the map now and able to wrestle.
On the map. Now, that's why it's relevant, folks. We're going to see him. We're going to have to deal with him at the 2028 LA Olympics. And then what's the other international story coming up next, folks? Stay with us. Anthony Knox, real story. The real story. Kevin got it. How about that? Stay tuned. Yep. One more little international story. And I got a video. You want to talk about the video?
Yeah. So the world champion, Aoyagi, who won 70 kilograms. Then you remember he wrestled Mitchell Messenbrick at 74 kilograms. Mitchell ended up beating him at the end. He moved up a weight class. He's permanently at 74 now, and he wrestled his fellow countryman, who was the 74 kilogram world champion this year in the senior level. And you can see he's got the takedown here. He's in the blue, the 70 kilogram Aoyagi. He got the takedown. He got this gut right here with 30 seconds to go to make it 4-2. Now he has criteria if he gets taken down because he's got 2 2s.
Yep.
So now there's 24 seconds left. And the 74 kilogram champion here, he did beat David Carr. He won that weight class that was stacked this year at Senior Worlds with Sidikoff in it. Okay, of course, here you got Aoyagi pulling his old, I can't find my contacts, yada, yada, yada. Just fast forward that crap. So then 24 seconds, boom, shoots in, takes Aoyagi down, but not enough by criteria because he had the 2-2s compared to the 2, and he had a takedown and 2 push-outs.
Exactly.
So not enough. So this was a huge thing because Japan's depth at these weight classes is absurd. I mean, you got Aoyagi here, who's a 70 kilogram champion, who's up to 74.
Look at him. Bang,
beating
bang.
the 74 kilogram champ. And that's not even talking about what's his face there? Takatani there, who was a silver medalist at the Olympics, who beat Dake in the semis. He's still there at 74 kilograms. And at 70 kilograms, they also have, I'm going to destroy his name, but Narakuni, who beat Zayn really good in the world finals at 70 kilograms in 2022. Then he went over to Greco. Didn't have all that much success. Nobody really knows, why did he go to Greco? But he did end up winning both the 70 kilogram freestyle and the 72 kilogram Greco at the Japan's Empire tournament. So he could very well go back to freestyle 70 kilograms or 74. But man, they're really got a lot of depth there.
Yes. Okay, listen, Kevin, let me tell you what I gathered. First of all, great intel. Anthony Knox real story about to come. We got to have more of these live breakdowns with the video in the background and you and me talking through it. Okay, the way that you did that, I didn't even chime in, but dude, there's a great opportunity there to add to the show. Maybe even some shorts. You know?
Yeah, man. Mean? Nobody wants to look at us. I mean.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Great. By the way, WrestleMadness resolution: keep doing Tai Chi while drinking chai tea.
Oh. 7 minutes a day, right?
Oh, my goodness.
Look at my husband. He started doing Chai Chi. Good Lord.
Okay, Larry Steele. Haven't done resolution since I stopped caring about staying up until midnight. Maybe that's your resolution. Stay up till midnight.
Yeah. I was in bed by like 11 last night.
All right, let's go. Kevin, what's going on, dude? Anthony Knox, dude. It happened live during our show, right? You found out the breaking news. We got to see the devastation, literally, as you experienced it, the real live devastation. Go watch the last live, folks. What's the real story?
I was trying to put this together because I'm going back and I'm watching stuff, and he loves Cornell. Every interview he's talking about wrestling with Vito, loves Cornell, always has the Cornell headgear on. He did not want to leave Cornell, okay? So the story out of their camp was, well, it was because of the court case, right? And I found that really strange because I'm like, something doesn't add up here. I got these random Twitter people sending me messages saying, it's because of the court case. That's why he's not wrestling. These are the facts. I'm like, whoa. And they were all accounts with made up, burners or whatnot. And then I started thinking, why is it that Cornell, after the incident happened, Mike Ray and Cornell said continuously that this would not affect his admissions and it would not affect him being on the team? Why would they say that if it wasn't true? And then I started thinking the timing that he announced the decommitment. I'm saying all this to a contact that I have close to the situation, who I very much trust. And they told me that I was right on the path with this one. Why are they going to say he can't get admission when the court date is 3 weeks away? Wouldn't he know this way back yonder? Or wouldn't he know it in 3 weeks when the pending case actually has a ruling? Then I started also thinking he announced right at the end of the first semester. So what I was told was that because of it wasn't just because of grades, but it had to do with the incident. He had to meet a certain GPA in that fall semester, and that GPA was not met. Now, if you're in his camp, What would you rather say? That, or would you rather say it had to do with the court case? Right? It sounds better if it just has to do with the court case. You don't want to say, oh, I couldn't make the GPA at a community college. So that's and here's the thing, Cornell can't say anything. They can't say, oh, that's not true. They can't let that information out. And his camp isn't going to deny it. And it's not completely false because it does have a little bit to do with the court case because he had to get a certain GPA. But it's another reason why we saw him wrestle at one tournament this semester. We saw him wrestle at the Clarion Open, and that was it. My guess is, and this is speculation, this part is that right around that time, he was realizing that he's not going to reach this GPA. And they just said, let's not worry about wrestling right now. Let's figure this out and just focus on the schooling, because all the other Cornell gray shirts were going tournaments every single weekend, whether it was Kent State or anywhere. And he only has been to that one. Mm-hmm. Now, he still didn't give up on, he wanted Cornell to get him in, but as far as I know, that's just not going to happen. Up until recently, he even wanted. So now, where's he going to go? Where's he going to go, Zach?
Hold on, before you give us that, hold the phone. Let me just explain this in layman terms for everyone, because I am very familiar to this situation, my brother. So basically, Knox was not smart enough to be in Cornell, an Ivy League, basically, right? They had an easy out. Is there any chance he comes back, or no? He's just that's just not happening. And I'm only saying that because I am familiar with the situation. My brother went to Ivy League school only off athletics. Trust me, it wasn't his brain. I don't know how he figured it out. I don't know how he did, but he figured something out, dude.
Now, I don't know if, here's the thing, and I want to make it real clear. If that incident never happened, I do not know if he had the grades to make it anyway. It sounds like he did. It sounds like the combination of the incident made it so he had to go in there in the fall and prove himself with a specific GPA, which he did not do. Okay. Now, I heard that there was some bad blood between the family and the Cornell coaches or whatever because of this. My guess is because they wanted them to do something or pull some strings or do whatever to get him in there.
Give him an easier teacher. Give him an easier teacher. Yeah. Oh, so okay. Let me dig a little bit.
And
Kevin.
they can't.
You
they
gave
can't.
Us the
they
surface.
can't do that.
The university can't do that, but you're saying there's maybe some bad blood. Your words between the family and the university. They said we have gotten a free pass all of our lives up to this point. Cornell, who do you think you are, Cornell? That we have to get good grades now, dude? I don't think so. And then Cornell said, yeah, that's kind of how it works. Like, we have minimum standards. Next thing you know, he's got to decommit to save face. And he can't come back. He's not coming back to Cornell, which is a huge hit to you. No. Did I explain that?
Yeah.
Accurately?
Yeah, it's a big you got a guy that is he's a lifer at 125, right? And he's a podium threat every year, a national. He lost to Bouzakis at the Clarion Open 7-4, which was a good match. Bouzakis is a big dude right now. That's a guy that you want. Now, Cornell's going to be okay, right? Because they got Isaiah Cortez that is likely going to go down to 125. And Elijah Cortez is going to go down to 133 next year. And Vince Cornella got approved for his med shirt, so he's going to be at 41 next year. Joy Shapiro, so on and so forth. But having that class, Zach, we had 9 guys in the top 60 on the big board. And the top 2 guys, Vega and Knox, are gone. Okay.
And you see Vega, dude. And Knox.
Oh, that one hurts.
Man. It's devastating to. You say it's fine, but it's not fine. And that is
Vega. Losing Vega's not fine. Right.
I know that's
you know what?
immediately.
This is part of being a Cornell fan.
Relevant.
It's part of being a Cornell fan is you gotta get. We aren't going to be able to get everybody. They have to meet a certain criteria. It's frustrating at times, but it is what it is, you know. And where's he going to go? Well, Virginia Tech. I don't think he's going to go there, Zach, because he sat out this whole. He's got this gray shirt year, which has been very uneventful, where he went to one tournament. Is he going to want to sit out a red shirt year next year behind Ventresca? I don't think he's going to want to sit out 2 years. And do they have the money to pay him after paying Bo and Melvin Miller, Seidel, and all these other, all these other guys that they got to pay? They have a ton of good commits. So I don't think he's going to want to sit out 2 years.
I wanted to see what the P&L, profit and loss statement, looks like at Virginia Tech Wrestling right now, because they got some big contracts out there right now.
They do. They almost had Jaden James too. Remember, he had a commit, but he flipped over to Penn State. But now, I like the North Carolina Rob Cole connection there. I think he's going to go to North Carolina. I know you like that, dude.
I'm going to say that what we're all thinking. Iowa. Anthony Knox, Iowa.
No way.
No way.
Iowa's not in the mix. Nope. It's going to either be Rutgers or North Carolina, I'm telling you. It's going to be one of those two, and I think it's going to be North Carolina. Rob Cole is very good at this. This is his bread and butter, and I think now North Carolina is now here's the questions though, Zach. If you're Anthony Knox, you got to ask North Carolina some serious questions because of what happened with the Ferrari situation, right?
I know.
Is my incident looked at the same as Ferrari? What was Ferrari was accused of? Not even found guilty of, but accused of.
Done dirty, dude, by Belichick's girlfriend. What's her name? Jordan Hudson or something? Basically ran AJ out of North Carolina, and I don't know. You could say that was ultimately good or bad now that he's ended up in Nebraska, but that is
it was bad
to Rob Cole.
It was bad too because for AJ, all of a sudden he was a hot item at that point, right? And then you got other teams like Iowa State went and got Elam and all this other stuff, right? You get all of a sudden it's supply and demand, right? There's less demand for AJ by the time North Carolina says we can't have you anymore. And so he's going to get less money. I don't know that to be the case, but that just seems to make sense. He goes to North Carolina. He's going to start next year. I think Ramos would be good for him. I think it would be a better bet than going to Rutgers. I know Rutgers is his home, but I mean, I don't know.
Okay, why am I not? Rutgers and North Carolina are the two schools you're throwing at me, dude.
Ohio
Anthony
State.
Knox
I know,
is
man.
a big dog, dude. One of the biggest dogs. Why is he not? Well, I could understand maybe why Penn State not
all
there.
These other teams,
Iowa State, dude. Nebraska. Where are these schools? You cannot be telling me Rutgers and North Carolina are his options at this point.
Ohio State was talked about, but they haven't been in talks with him, and they got guys for next year. You got to look at it as in he is going to want to start next year, right? He already sat out a gray shirt. So who doesn't have 125-pounders next year? I mean, is Spratley a junior? He's going to – I mean, it's just –
why would David Taylor not convince Anthony Knox to come there? It is a lot easier to get good grades at Oklahoma State than it is Cornell. I can guarantee you that.
I just don't. I think that this is. He said he had it down to 4, and Ohio State's not one of them. Virginia Tech, I just don't see him sitting out another year. That's why I don't think it's Virginia Tech. It's no inside information. I just don't see it.
Okay, your final prediction is North Carolina.
North Carolina, yep.
Is Rutgers. This is just absurd to me that it's come down to these two. All because you just can't get good enough grades.
Well, that mixed with the incident, right? But it's not just the incident. It's not just the incident. They would wait. If it was just the incident, they would wait 3 more weeks to see what the ruling is. And that's another thing with North Carolina, Zach. Are you telling me that what AJ was found not guilty of is worse than what if Knox is found guilty? Is that the case? Because the last thing he's going to want to do is put his eggs in the UNC basket and have something like that happen to AJ, where the donors and the administration says, you know what, we don't want you after all. And then all of a sudden his options are even more limited and he's on his 3rd choice, and that just becomes a real bad trend. So I'm not saying it's the best choice. I'm saying it's the one I think that he's going to go to.
The logical choice and maybe the betting odds favorite. Okay, well, I mean, We got some people in the comments. Stuart Griffin, Okie State's future at 125 would not pay the asking price anyway. We have predictions. Basically, it's North Carolina or it's Rutgers. Shocking, surprising. Out.
Very good point, Stewie. Very good point, Stewie. So, yep, that's that, man. That's and you know what? His camp is they're always gonna say that it was the court thing, solely, but not the case.
But you heard the inside story here from Cornell insider, Penn State logjam from Stewie at 125. One last question, Kevin, before we move on this. When can we expect to get a commitment from Knox?
Should be, I'm hearing 2 weeks, but I would think that he wants that done before the court date, maybe. Before the court, depending on how he feels he's going to be, the ruling's going to go. I'm thinking it's going to be right after, which is in a week or so. So it's going to be within the next couple of weeks. We definitely will know where he's going in the next couple of weeks.
Within the next couple of weeks.
He was holding out for Cornell still. He was holding out, but I heard that that's just not going to happen.
Those classes are too hard. Listen, Anthony, dude, you couldn't find a study buddy, dude? You ever hear of a study buddy?
Here's another thing, Zach. Last thing on this topic real quick is there was a thing in 2016, some act that under Obama where and I'm trying to find where the thing is, where they made it where if you were charged with a misdemeanor or a felony, you were not immediately ruled out of the admission process where you were before. It would still be in effect, but it wouldn't cross you off right away. Okay, so it wasn't like it used to be like, oh, you got a felony or a misdemeanor, you're not going to an Ivy League school. They changed it so you have to at least look at everything else, and I believe that is what played into this. You have to get this as a specific GPA. In order to go ahead and get that. And that was in 2016 they did that. So I don't know the name of it off the top of my head. I'm not going to look for it through here.
Well,
but
listen, I'll say this.
But yeah.
To wrap it up, it's a little concerning Anthony Knox didn't get in for that reason. And quite frankly, dude, how much more difficult can the courses be at Cornell than in Oklahoma State or Rutgers? I'm a little concerned, Anthony Knox. You got to let's hit the books. Let's start focusing. This ain't, you know what I mean? I remember when I got out of high school, I was a superstar in high school. And then a month after I left, I was a nobody, dude. It changes real quick. You got to learn how to work at schoolwork. Maybe not just wrestling, Anthony Knox.
Student athlete.
Student athlete. There we go. All right. Advice. Anyway, moving on. I'm going to put the Jax Forrest up. Kevin, update us with what's going on. This is your past.
Well, he had a crazy match in the finals of Powerade, right?
Yeah.
And he announced that he's moving, to campus. Now, that doesn't mean that he's going to, be on the team, or he's going to redshirt, or he's going to not. It doesn't really tell us anything. To me, it all boils down to what does Jax want to do, man? Is he looking at senior level? Like, I want Olympics. That's my focus is freestyle. Is he going along is being a 4-timer like his ultimate goal? I think he's more of a senior level kind of guy where he might just jump in there, and if you're Oklahoma State, if you do the numbers, it's been shown that Jax is the difference between them being a trophy team or not being a trophy team. Oklahoma State was a trophy team last year. So if you're David Taylor, imagine that you want to get him in that 133 spot and make sure that you're going to be a trophy team, because you're only going to get better each year, right? You don't want to have a year where you're not in the trophy team talk. So, right. And let's face it, Oklahoma State's going to keep getting really good recruits. It's not like they're going to not.
That is also true. Let me lay out the facts here. I'm going to play investigative journalist here. So he is now moved to campus, you said? He's now living on the campus.
Right.
Okay. Let's put the facts on the table. Put them up on the pinboard, folks. He's living on campus now. And I think the last thing that you said, Kevin, is maybe one of the most important things. These recruits that David Taylor and Oklahoma State get are only going to get better, okay? I'm led to believe, based on, what do you call it? Evidence, something evidence where it's not factual, but he's going to be wrestling second semester. Is that? I'm led to believe that.
I think so, man. The red shirt thing doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't, because you either want to jump in or you don't, right? If he was going to red shirt, just stay in high school for the rest of the year. You know? I don't know. Now, you can have your 5 dates, right? Like, they can throw him in and do that. So, I mean, I guess that's one thing. And maybe if he wants to, you know, he's not looking to spend a whole lot of time in college, maybe he does go in there and he red shirts. He does his 5 dates. But, man, David Taylor knows what he's doing. He got him in there. They're going to have that place pumping, and he's going to want to be a part of that right away. You know, his eyes are getting big. He's already been to the matches. He wants to be a part of that. Come on.
Can you imagine how bored he is wrestling high school matches right now? Dude?
Oh, my God.
Like, this has got to be, it's a joke, dude. It's a joke to Jax
Like, he goes,
Forrest.
can you imagine him at a dual meet? I mean, a dual meet. I saw a dual meet. Their team was there. I mean, what?
Like, dude,
what
I'm a world
that poor bastard that's
superstar.
wrestling him. Yeah. The guy's like, oh, great.
I'm
He goes
wrestling
out there,
Johnny from Grant Drive up the road, dude. Like, are you kidding me? I'm Jax Forrest, dude. Yes, he wants to be there. He wants to be part of that environment. David Taylor wants him there because David Taylor needs him. Yes, like you said, for that team to podium. I think it makes too much sense.
And I think, you know, Richie Figg's experiment, no good. And Ronnie Ramirez, to me, is a 125-pounder. And he's really good. But I think he's a 125-pounder. So
Circumstantial
we'll see,
evidence. Thank you, not a wrestler. That's the word I was based
Yes.
on all the circumstantial evidence.
Thank you. we'd be good with words here.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Zach. Southern Scuffle. They got the Who's Going. Yep, Southern Scuffle's coming up, and they, you know, got Who's Going there. And looking at that, man, there's some interesting things here, Zach. If you just look at the flow, you know, it says who's going to be there, and it does it in order by ranking, right? But you can't just look at the rankings on this, because you'll notice at 157, there's Joe Seeley in there that's at the bottom of the list because it goes in alphabetical order by school, and he's not ranked because he's not a starter. There's Greg Diakomahalis making his debut at 125 pounds, who's a 44-9 career wrestler. If he can stay healthy, he's got a win over Eddie Ventresca, who's going to be the top seed. You got, I'll tell you what, these are my picks, Zach, and a lot of them aren't going to be guys that are seated high. They'll be backups. I think I like Ventresca at 25. I like Tyler Ferreira at 33 because he's already beaten Dylan Campbell 8-1. I like Cornella at 41 because I feel good about him beating Composto. He beat him this summer. I know it was freestyle, but he did tech him. Aaron Nagao is making his comeback in this, so that should be good. Tom Crook, some good guys at 141.
Yep.
I like at 149, I like Cross Waslewski from Penn. I like him to be Ethan Fernandez from Cornell in the final. That's my prediction there. Ethan Fernandez, as far as we know, is the backup to Joy. 157, Myro Shapiro is there. Jude Swisher, Gavin Drexler, and Joe Seeley. Now, I think it goes in that exact order. I think it goes Meyer, Jude, Drexler, Seeley. Now, Seeley's a tough out for anyone, but I know
comment early on, not a wrestler. Shapiro versus Joe Seeley at Scuffle, possible.
Now, here's the thing. I understand completely where he's coming from with that PJ Duke match. I personally think that PJ Duke match was familiarity in the practice room all the time, and Seeley was not really looking to score. And it's really hard to score points on someone when they're not putting themselves out there to score at all. I saw Seeley at a tournament earlier this year where he wrestled the Columbia kid there, and he was losing 11-3, and the Columbia kid had 4 minutes of riding time on him until he broke his finger and freaked out about it. And then he also needed a winning takedown at the end to beat Harrington from Harvard, who Meyer teched in the dual meet last year. So I don't know about Sealy, man. I don't know which Sealy is which. He has
I'll
to be
say
taken
this.
seriously, though.
I wish, what did it say? PJ Duke needed a fake stall call to win that. My prediction. Well, here's what we need to do. Here's what I've realized, Kevin. After having that live footage, we put the match in the background. We can narrate it. We stumbled upon that this episode. We're going to do that a lot more often. Some of these, circumstantial, up in the air moments, we're going to put it on live, put the video on there. How about that, dude? Shapiro Sealy.
Makes sense.
Will be awesome from Jonathan in the comments.
Yes. Now, Sealy he's a liability on the mat. I don't know if you've noticed that, but he can't get off from bottom. He was ridden out a couple times last year. Kai Owen is the Columbia wrestler's name. He rode him out for 4 minutes in that match.
Mm-hmm.
Meyer can ride people. We saw him, have to ride out Cannon Webster there, who people don't ride Cannon Webster out. That kid's explosive. I like Meyer's offense over Sealy's defense, but Sealy has talent. Let's just see if he is able to put it together. Gavin Drexler, too, is an All-American. Don't forget. Was an All-American last year at 149. Jude Swisher and Shapiro, we've seen that already. Jude Swisher was a blood round wrestler last year. He lost 4-2 to Kazak in the blood round. But Meyer wrestled him in the finals of the Ivies, and Meyer teched him. So we'll see. But moving on to 65, I think that goes, according to seed. Bianchi, I like winning that. 174, I think Will Henkel wins that. He's not going to be seated. He's going to be at the bottom because of backup. But I like him over Nick Hamilton or Aiden Wallace or Grant Odell. 184, same kind of deal. I think Asher Cunningham could very well win that weight class. I like him over
Asher Cunningham. Yeah.
Yeah. I like him over Christian Hansen from Cornell in the final. 197, Josh Barr. I think Josh Barr over Little in the final.
That could be fun, though, but yeah.
Yeah, that should be good. Then you got Sasso, and I like Sasso third, Thomas fourth, maybe. 285, Lucas Cochran from Penn State. I like him over Mullen in the final.
Yeah. All right.
So that's kind of what I think, for whatever that's worth.
I wish we had.
So there's some good matches, though.
Apologize, folks. We don't have the graphic up of all these matchups, or wrestlers involved, but that is coming up this Sunday.
Yep.
You know what else, dude? You just reminded me of? Daggone, I just forgot.
Saturday and Sunday, I think, actually.
Yeah, Saturday the 3rd, I'm going to be on USA Takedown Radio. Hot dog.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
nice.
I can't forget about that. I think 11 a.m. Eastern. USA Takedown Radio.
Cool.
Scott Casper. Just talking some wrestling, dude.
He's awesome.
Whenever you call in that show, dude, you just got to bring it. Just bring it. 100%, dude. Whether you know what you're talking about or not, dude. So that's my plan.
Yeah. Very cool. You did a good job last time you were on there, for sure.
I don't know how.
Casper's awesome.
Yeah, but
you wanna throw up the remaining unbeatens real quick?
Remaining unbeatens, folks, and then we got a text from Iowa Terry maybe to close out the show. Okay, there's remaining unbeatens.
Awesome.
Talk us through this.
Yeah.
Kevin.
So the star, where you see the star, they're officially undefeated. However, they might have lost to a teammate. They might have lost to a high school wrestler. As you can see there, Nick Bouzakis lost to his teammate, but he's still officially undefeated. We got Jackson Joy lost to Bo Bassett, but he's officially undefeated. Caden Cassidy lost to Ethan Fernandez, who was unattached, but he's still undefeated. Caleb Titus lost to Bo Bassett. Brandon Cannon lost to Melvin Miller. And Jackson Smith lost in the All-Star Classic to Zach Ryder. But these guys, this is your list of undefeated wrestlers. You see, a decent amount of them at both 125 and 149. I think that this weekend we should see any of these going down. Might see some of them go down. But I'm guessing that we're going to see a majority of these go down before NCAA even takes place, especially at Big Tens. Big Tens is going to be wild this year.
Yeah, well, you're certainly not going to have this many undefeateds coming in. I
Oh,
know
no,
that for
definitely
sure.
not.
I know that for sure,
No.
dude. We've gotten some great comments this episode. Stewie in the comments, first match back. Webster looked good. I think we'll beat Sealy. I hope so, dude. I'm big on Cannon. I'm a big Cannon Webster fan, so I am rooting for him.
He's a good kid.
And
you know what, man? Zach, Webster looks a lot better this year than he did last year. I think he was sucking a lot of weight last year to make 49 because he just looks a lot. I don't know, man. He looks like he's able to just more energy, more, you
stand by that.
And
stand by. He's never beaten Shapiro. You don't think he has a chance? You stand by that?
Absolutely. I think that that's going to be the worst Shapiro we see this year. Is his first match. He was a little bit timid on offense. He was right behind him, but the time was winding down and he tried rolling the wrong way.
Medals.
What's that?
Do you think Cannon Webster?
Yeah, I do think he gets on the podium. Okay. I do. I absolutely do. I think he's a 6th to 8th place guy.
Give me your top 3 at that weight.
PJ Duke, Meyer Shapiro.
You're putting
Brandon Cannon.
Brandon Cannon at 3. Are you serious? You got the
love
wrong
what I see
Cannon.
from that kid.
You got the wrong Cannon.
I love Brandon Cannon has been a force on his feet this year, and I really like what I'm seeing. And I was saying that he should be number 1 a month ago when everybody had Ty Waters number 1 and, Robidoux 2. I was like, man, Brandon Cannon should be number 1 right now based on this year's resume. But yeah. I like Duke. The only way Shapiro is going to beat Duke is if he's able to get him on the mat and frustrate him on the mat. He's definitely a better mat wrestler than Duke. But you want to talk about 2 creative guys on offense, PJ Duke and Meyer Shapiro. I hope if they wrestle, I hope they both open up because that could be a really fun match. And you guys, Meyer Shapiro, what you saw against Cannon Webster, that's not going to be Meyer Shapiro in March. That's his first match, man. Cannon Webster's wrestled a third of a season already. Meyer will be a little bit better.
Why don't you give a little more credit to Cannon Webster to say maybe, dude, that is the Meyer, but that's like a Cannon Webster we're not used to seeing.
No, Zach, no matter what, any way you spin it, Cannon Webster was right there to win that match. Any way you want to spin it with Meyer's first match, excuses, whatever.
2 more seconds.
2 more seconds, it goes into overtime. 2 more seconds goes into overtime.
But listen, it is intriguing. Let me say this: Meyer and Duke. If Shapiro is better on the mat, given both how creative both of them are on their feet, there is a path for Meyer to beat PJ Duke. If something happens, a crazy scramble on their feet, you end up with majority mat wrestling. Shapiro has the advantage there. Look out, PJ Duke.
I tell people, for those that people act as if Meyer didn't have a freaking coma last year. They act as if he just, went and took 5th place and that was it. They act like he didn't weigh 150 pounds when he was wrestling 157. 150 pounds he weighed at conferences and at the NCAA tournament, he weighed 152. He's walking around there. There was 141 pounders that weighed more than that on day 2 of that tournament. So I'm going to cut him a little slack with that, man. Call it bias, call it whatever you want, but I'm telling you.
Yeah, okay. If it
it
comes down to mental, though, we'll see. I mean, James in the comments says if Shapiro loses, he's going to accuse him of steroids.
He did not accuse him. It was Johnny Lovett. People, it was not Kazak he accused of doing that. It was Johnny Lovett. He talked about it the year before. He wrestled Johnny Lovett. That's why him and Johnny Lovett got snippy at the end of the match.
Whoa. Guys,
Johnny Lovett was pissed off about that.
Sensitive spot, James, in the comments. You hit
no,
a sensitive
it was funny,
spot.
though. You know what I want to ask is why does everybody assume it was Kazak he was talking about?
Well, because all the pimples on his face, right?
well, because of 100 other reasons, right?
But I'll say, dude, I had pretty bad acne in high school. I certainly wasn't taking steroids. I did a lot of push-ups, but I was not. But I had bad acne, defend Kazak. I don't know, but all right, James in the comments.
I don't know anything about that. No, it's funny though. It's funny though, James. It is funny.
All right.
It was not a brilliant thing for him to say. Regardless, it was really ignorant for him to say that. It was a really bad look. But you know, it was right after he beat Zurban 11-0, and Zurban's tough. I'm just saying, people have just watch out, man. Meyer is going to be ready.
Yeah, Meyer's going to be
Meyer will
ready,
be ready.
folks. Kevin, I cued the music. Give us your final thoughts, folks. Not a lot of wrestling here in the past week. It's a new year. Happy 2026. And wrestling is on the horizon. Kevin, always appreciated your stats info and all your feedback
Thanks,
during
Zach.
the show. What's the
Thanks
first
a lot,
thing?
man.
Did you eat anything lucky, pork and sauerkraut or anything for New Year's? Or
Nah.
No.
Dude,
nothing.
I'm so boring, man. I was in bed by 11 o'clock. Someone on my phone starts going off at midnight. I go, oh yeah, New Year.
Yeah. I know. Listen, me and
Oh,
Kelly,
man.
me and Kelly, first night, we watched the finale of Stranger Things. And all you Stranger Things fans out there, dude, I know
Oh, yeah?
you love that
How
finale.
was that?
I'm not gonna get into it, but it was good. It was good. Kelly loved it. So you know, great. It was a great ending. The Duffy brothers, man, they put an ending
I
where it
watched,
puts it in your lap. I like sophisticated mental stuff like that. So Stranger Things. Shout out all you Stranger Things fans.
Mayor of Kingston. I watched the finale of that. That was a pretty good
Okay.
show. Mayor of Kingston with Jeremy Renner there.
I've
That's
seen
good
that,
stuff.
but I
Yeah.
haven't watched it.
I like
So, folks, I am gonna
James,
close
we
out.
love you too, buddy.
I'm gonna close out one final time the Brand's Brownie commercial. Hold on, dude, real quick. Braden's calling in. Oh my goodness, Braden, you better make this short and sweet, Braden. Hold on, let me see if I can get him in here. Bang! No better way to close out the show than Braden.
Hey.
Braden, you're on the line, dude. Close this out.
There he is.
Well, got a couple words to say. Happy New Year, everyone. And
Happy
watch
New Year.
out for Meyer Shapiro, baby.
Meyer Shapiro. Oh, you got the Cornell
heart there, my
calling
heart.
in there, Kevin. Oh my goodness,
Hey,
Braden.
hey, he's crafty. He's crafty.
He is crafty.
Can't strategize for a crafty man.
How you doing, man? How's your
Doing good.
Season
Going
going.
Walmart. Got an awkward situation going on right now. Guy on
okay? I'm intrigued.
Yeah, guy was complaining about me snoring last night. He's like, dude, you're snoring till 4 a.m. I'm like, dude, you just got to figure it out, man. You figure it out at this point. So you just bitch about, well, complained. I can't really say that. I mean, it's valid. I mean, if you can't sleep when we have like 9 a.m. practice, then yeah.
Yeah. Braden, I gotta be honest. I'd love to dive. I kind of want to dive further into this story here, but we're gonna wrap it up. But listen,
How's
man,
things
call
going
in
for you,
earlier.
Braden?
I'll
Yeah.
try
Wrestling.
calling next week, but no guarantees.
How's wrestling going good
Practice.
for you, man?
Could be better, could be worse, but improving every day. Got to
Didn't
put in
know-
the extra
Keep us
mile, got to
updated,
put in the
man.
extra.
Kevin,
extra
no
work.
one's
That's all
sleeping, dude. No
behind
one's
it.
sleeping. Everyone's waking each other up, dude. They got 9 a.m. practice over there. He's on his way to Walmart. They gotta get food and stuff, right?
Right? Gotta make the situation work now at heavyweight.
Huh.
Bulk
Nice.
over the summer, had bulk up.
How much you weigh now?
I'm gonna walk around like 240 on a good day.
Hot dog,
Wow.
240.
How tall are you?
Yeah, I had 30 pounds over the summer. Not easy work.
And tell everyone where
Had to
you're
grow
wrestling
egg
at,
whites.
Braden. Tell
Raw
everyone
egg
where.
whites.
Egg.
Where are you wrestling?
Decorah, Iowa for Luther College.
Look at him.
Very
there he
cool,
is.
man.
He's out there, Iowa wrestler, folks. Out there going to get food, egg whites. I wouldn't expect anything less from an Iowa wrestler, Braden. We always appreciate your call in, man. Hey,
Yep.
listen, let us know if you find any Brand's brownies at the store. We're gonna close out with.
I will.
I spent a lot of time making that video, folks, and it got like 300 views. I don't understand it, dude. But Braden, you're appreciated. Call in next
Thanks,
week,
Brandon.
man. Call in next week, dude.
I will.
All right. Take care of yourself. Folks, that's Braden. That's Kevin.
You too.
I'm Zach. And, folks, this is BEG Wrestling. Like and subscribe. We're going to close out one final time with the Brand's Brownies commercials. Folks, if you thought the Kale's cookies. Let me put this up one final time. Kale's cookies, you know, everyone's talking about Kale's cookies everywhere I go here in Pennsylvania. Kale cookies here, Kale cookies there. And it makes me want to puke, dude. Makes me want to puke, Kevin. So I made
Tell us how you feel.
up my brands, brownies. Yeah, they're not officially on sale yet, but you can pre-order now, folks, at BEG Wrestling. And thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
See you next week. See ya.
Do you like winning? Winner. Do you enjoy not being a loser? Then stop eating sad, crumbly desserts and start feeling like a champ with Brand's brownies. These aren't your grandpa's brownies. These are brownies for superior athletes, packed with real meat protein, electrolytes, and lean omega-3s. Other products are full of fatty acids and wasted talent. The secret is Brand's brownies are designed to push your body to 100% efficiency. No waste, all taste.
I ate one Brand's brownie and my body was like, we're good. I didn't poop for a week.
That's science. 100% efficiency at 100% great taste. And now the question everyone is asking, do you have nuts?
I have nuts.
Good, because Brand's brownies now have big nuts. Other products crumble under pressure. Brand's brownies built like bricks. Stop wasting the best years of your life from the bench. Fuel up. Toughen up! Brownie up!